Hello Tubesters, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. Today we're looking at some Claymore Castings 28mm medieval figures. They're metal and I believe they're for the 14th century. As we all know, what I know about medieval you can write on the back of a stamp, but I was just really drawn to these figures, and I'll give you a close-up of some. I gave these what do you want to call them, an unboxing or a review sometime last year, I believe. And I've had them primed and cleaned for that length of time, and just not so much not got the love for them, it was just trying to work out what I was going to do with them paint wise. So this is the one that I haven't got painted at the moment. There he is in primer. This I believe is Halford's auto primer I've put on this. I tend these days to use, although I've got this as a reserve still, I use AK primer through my airbrush, which is good for metals as well. So I just find it's easier to get with the airbrush. Now I can use the airbrush, it's just getting in all the nooks and crannies without wasting a lot of primer, which you tend to on a rattle can. But yeah, so that's primer, and it's Halford's. Put it to one side for the moment. I was furiously looking for I had to decide again. I'm absolutely nothing yet from a country that's dotted with castles and that type of history. It's never really floated my boat. I was looking for say one leader that I could base all these around and say that that's the backstory. And I've chosen, I believe it's Robert Delisle, and he has a black and yellow coat of arms, which I haven't done yet because it's these are all foot soldiers, but they were roughly, I was saying that this was going to be his retinue. So this is our first fella. Now he does, I believe, Nick, look like somebody we all know. If that isn't, and I've even painted his walrus moustache a bit like it. If that isn't Ian the Diomede, I don't know what is. I'm using a book. Let me just put this guy down for a second. Sorry guys, I'm as prepared as always. And it's under everything else, and you just know it's going to come crashing down. Hang on a second. I'm not going to show the book because I'm not going to get it with that close up with the camera. But it's the Medieval Fighting Man, and then costume and equipment 800 to 1500, and that's from the Europa Militaria Special number 18. And it's the usual reenactors, but I like the reenactors over the artwork, to be honest with you, because you get to see more of what things look like. I've gone for the non-metallic metal on the helmet. I'm still learning, as I keep saying. Long way to go on that one yet. But yeah, so that's our first guy. I've just ordered 3 more packs off Claymore. I don't have any connection to them, only the fact that I've really enjoyed the figures. I do believe, although I'm a commercial painter, I don't paint a lot of different companies. It tends to be, obviously, I'm known for doing the ABs, and I obviously throw out the occasional front ranks as well for people that I'm painting at the moment. So I don't really get my hands on that many different types of figures, but I have to say, I said it then and I'll say it now, I mean, I believe these are the best sculpts I've seen in 28mm. The facial details are fantastic. You don't have to put, because the way they've done them, I haven't put eyes in these guys. Yeah, I just the poses themselves, the casting, full credit to Claymore, the team at Claymore, because they obviously give the go ahead, and they're in the design process of this is what we want. Full credit to the sculptor, because as I say, these are just fantastic. And then full credit to the casters, because these were more or less perfect. I did show, if you go back to that one, it'll be on my unboxings and things that I've got all on the playlists if you go and check them out. I had I picked their mounted knights set up, which is more like a vignette, and they do say they're more like models, and they are. The horses have to be put together in halves and things like that. And there was one that was a bit thin on the casting, but as I said then, you're going to have to put some fill around these, which they tell you anyway. So the bit of thin casting wasn't too much of a problem. I haven't obviously dealt with those yet, but it just, you know, that was the only drawback I'd seen on everything I'd looked at. But I think these are fantastic casts. This is the only other one I've got fully painted at the moment. I've gone for the helmet being really shiny. Now in that book it shows them, you see again, not really knowing, I thought they were always dull metal. It turns out they were quite, as you guys probably know, they're really shiny helmets. I'm not saying on campaign they wouldn't have dulled down, but no, I was, so I'm learning non-metallic metal. You'll have to forgive me, it's not the best in the world, but I'm trying the different colours of metals as well. Try and vary the leather work as well on these when I can. Again, this is a cracking pose. He's obviously picked up a, what's it, a knight's sword, a senior bloke's sword. I've done a bit of blood on there, it looks more like rust, but I didn't want to do it bright red. I was to and fro because I'd spent so long working on the sword. I thought I'm going to stuff it up now, dotting it with red, but I used some whole red on that to give it a dark look. Again, I've been a bit artistic because I've put like dirt on the very bottom, stippled it on the very bottom of the... Oh, I had all the names for these, and because I don't use them very often, they've all gone out of my head. I should have wrote these down. You know, this tabard thing, the white bit anyway. I've put some obviously bit of like muck effects on, but I haven't done it on anything else, and that's just purely a bit of artistic. It just shows like with the blood spatters, he's been in a bit of combat. Again, brilliant facial, even under the helmet. That you can't get a lot in there, but what they have put in there really tells, you know, that it just suits it. I was going to put like, you know, your dingy growth of stubble on, but because there's so much in shade anyway, I've put some whole red in there just to shade the areas. And I thought, no, I'll leave the lower part of the face. Whereas this guy, I've highlighted more the top part of the face. Let's put him down for a second. I've put him under the lights. It's bleached a bit, but I've highlighted the top more. On this guy, I've highlighted the bottom more, just because obviously he's under all that helmet. But no, beautiful, beautiful figures. So that's that one. This guy's a work in progress. This is the only. So there's only 4 figures to show you. Again, I've kept the Delisle yellow and black, but it's not going to be on them all. He's got some fresh cuts on his shield. I'm still working on the leather. I literally just did that. I'm just painting these alongside the Napoleonic Commission, so they've been taking ages. It literally is, you know, a couple of dabs of paint here and there. I put the first coat of paint on his sword. Obviously, with the it's taking longer. You can't get that effect on the Napoleonic commissions because it just, unless somebody's going to throw loads of money at you, because it just takes forever. And that, I mean, that helmet alone probably took me 3 hours, 2 or 3 hours, only because I'm not really knowing what I'm doing and I'm having to feel my way around. But you can't get the same effect in that time on the Napoleonics. It has to be a lower version, if that makes sense. But the yellow's not. The yellow's, I'm quite pleased with the yellow. It's not showing up massively here because of the lights, but I will put some photographs up when I've got the complete unit done. As I say, I've sent off for 3 more packs, which is a knight pack, which I'll, you know, whether I put all the knights on or just maybe one as a commander. I'm not sure yet, but I've got some billmen coming, and I believe another section of hand weapons as well. I thought I'd leave archers and that to another day, because I probably will put a small force together. As I'll end up selling them, you know, unless I put them in my collection. But I probably will end up selling them. But if anybody wants to buy them. But yeah, guys, thank you very much. So Gav's dabbling in medievals, only occasionally, and it's taking for ages. The one that's primed at the moment, if he doesn't take about 2 weeks to do alongside everything else, that's probably as long as it's taking me at the moment. But it's been, as I say, I cannot fault those sculpts. I really do wish Claymore every success, because they deserve it with what they're putting out. Brilliant, brilliant work. and the sculptor should really be applauded for his or her work, because it's fantastic. So guys, thank you very much for stopping by and taking a look. As usual, I've spun things out from something that could take 3 minutes into 10. So take care of yourselves. We'll catch each other very soon on another video. Cheers.